Hey everyone, welcome back. So, former President Trump just floated a bold new idea, and it's stirring up a lot of conversation. He's talking about sending out stimulus-style rebate checks to Americans paid for by tariffs. Yes, the same tariffs that have pushed up prices on electronics, clothing, and everyday household goods might now fund a direct cash payment back to you. He called it a little rebate, but also emphasized a bigger goal, using the money to pay down national debt. Now, I know what you're probably wondering. How exactly would that work? More importantly, would you actually see any benefit? That's what we're diving into today. But first, let me hear from you. If you got a check from the government today, funded by tariffs, how would you use it? Drop your answer in the comments. I love reading your thoughts. And if you appreciate breakdowns like this, go ahead and subscribe. It's an easy way to stay in the loop without all the noise. Here's what's happening. In some casual remarks outside the White House, Trump hinted at a new rebate idea. He said something along the lines of, "We've got so much money coming in," and suggested maybe a little rebate for people at a certain income level. Vague, yes, but the numbers backing it up are very real. According to the Treasury Department, in just the first half of 2025, the U.S. collected over $100 billion from tariffs, and in July alone, another $27 billion is expected. That's a huge revenue stream. But remember, tariffs are just taxes on imported goods. Companies pay them up front, but those costs usually trickle down to you at checkout. It's an invisible tax, hitting your wallet at the grocery store, the mall, or even when you buy online. So now the government's suggesting we raised your prices, we might give some of that back. Sounds like a refund, right? The critics say it's more like, we made things more expensive. Here's a coupon. And if that feels backwards, you're not alone. Still, the proposal is catching attention. Trump says the primary goal is to reduce the $37 trillion national debt. But he's open to directing some of that tariff cash to rebate checks, especially for lower-income Americans. Some are even calling this a version of the so-called Doge dividend. That's a pitch from Trump-leaned advisor James Fishbeck, who once floated the idea of paying Americans up to $5,000 if they help reduce government waste. It's like a cashback reward for holding Washington accountable. Interesting idea? Sure. But let's be clear. It hasn't passed, and nothing is official. You might be asking, haven't we done these kinds of rebate checks before? Yes, several times, in fact. In 2001 and 2008, the Bush administration issued rebates during recessions. In 2020 and 2021, both Trump and Biden signed off on stimulus checks to help people survive the pandemic. But back then, those checks were tied to emergencies, mass layoffs, lockdowns, and economic freefall. This time, there's no crisis, just a big pot of tariff revenue and the idea to redistribute a slice of it. But here's the catch. Tariffs raise prices. Lower-income families feel the pinch the most. While a one-time check may help, the higher prices stick around long after. As one former Fed economist put it, this is like trying to put out a fire with a hose while lighting matches at the same time. It's a seesaw policy, give-take, give-but. It doesn't address the root issue. Even some Republicans are pushing back. House Speaker Mike Johnson, for instance, argued that while rebate checks might be politically popular, they clash with conservative ideals like fiscal responsibility and budget control. He compared it to paying off a credit card while still shopping. So yeah, this idea is causing some internal friction. On one side, the proposal appeals to voters, especially those working paycheck to paycheck who'd welcome a little extra cash. On the other, it risks increasing the national debt and possibly fueling inflation. Still, it's not without precedent. Remember in 2018 when Trump's tariffs hit American farmers hard? His administration sent out billions in relief payments to offset the damage. This would be similar, just aimed at average Americans instead of farmers. Let's also not ignore the politics. In 2020, when those COVID stimulus checks landed, many had Trump's name printed right on them. That branding made it feel personal, like a gift from him. A tariff-funded rebate in an election year could have the same effect, a financial win for voters, and a political win for Trump. But for now, that's all it is, an idea. There's no bill. No details, no timeline, just speculation. So what should you do right now? Stay alert. Ideas like this can gather momentum fast, especially if inflation worsens or political pressure builds. But they can also disappear just as quickly. The key is to always ask, where's the money coming from? What's the long-term impact? And who really benefits? Because even if that check shows up in your mailbox, you probably paid for it already through higher prices on groceries, gas, and goods. Still, I get it. If you're living week to week, a check in hand isn't about politics, it's about relief. It's food on the table. It's bills getting paid. So yeah, even if the system behind it is flawed, that financial help can be life-changing for many people. But the bigger question remains, are we building a system that actually supports people long-term or just patching things up one rebate at a time? We'll keep watching. If anything becomes official, I'll break it all down right here for you. If this helped you understand things a bit more, please subscribe and definitely share your thoughts below. Do you support this idea? You skeptical? Or just frustrated with rising prices? Let's talk about it in the comments. Till next time, stay informed, stay prepared, and take care.